Hey guys, welcome back to Ask Snes. Hope you're all well today. Hope you all had a good week, and yeah, another episode. Lots more questions, so let's get straight into it. And the first set of questions are from my good friend Luke, Next Gen fanboy. So cheers, Luke. And his first question: you and me are similar in the fact that we prefer games such as Heavy Rain, The Order, and beyond. Do you think it's because we cannot be asked to be gamers, or the fact that we grew up in times where we wanted to play a movie? It probably is actually something to do with that, because obviously as kids we were looking for the games to get better and better, and we wanted that really huge experience that as a kid we didn't get, because obviously the games were very simplistic back then. You know, they're quite detailed design, but you never had what we get now, when you get this, you know, literally where you can control the actions of the actors in a film, essentially, with games that Quantic Dream do, which is absolutely mind-blowing when you think about it. And yeah, I don't know, I think they just appeal to a certain sensibility. Like RPGs, I just can't get on with them at all. Yeah, there are millions of people out there that absolutely adore RPGs. You know, there are people out there that play Call of Duty online religiously, whereas I've got absolutely no interest. So I think it just, whatever speaks to you as a person, as a gamer, more than anything. But yeah, maybe that is something to do with it, like it could be. I mean, for me, the Quantic Dream games, beyond Two Souls, Heavy Rain, Fahrenheit, or Indigo Prophecy, depending on where you are, those games to me are just like an extension of the old point and click adventure games, which I absolutely love. So that's probably why I find them so attractive. But it could be that, you know, we wanted something, you know, bigger, grandier, and that's maybe what it is. I don't know. Or it could just be just down to your own personal taste. But good question. Okay, next question. This is more of a statement. Okay. Would you capture gameplay and talk over it and tell us your thoughts? E.g., you could play Halo and, like me also, could comment on stuff like the grass detail as you go. It is important, the grass detail, look. could kind of be a walkthrough or your latest experiences. Yeah, I mean, I would like to do that at some point. I've thought about doing capture in the future. I know way back I said I wouldn't do it because it wasn't really my thing. Because I like the effect, especially when I personally watch videos on YouTube, gameplay videos of old games. I like to see people play them on the TV, on a CRT, or at least a CRT. If not, you know, if it has to be on a modern TV, it has to be on a modern TV. But I like to get that authentic feel that games like, because I always find emulation, for me personally, and capture doesn't really give you that true feel. But with modern game, of course, it does. I mean, it's just like playing the game itself. I don't know. It's kind of weird. Just for me personally, when I'm watching retro games, I like to see people play them on a TV. I'd rather stick the camera and shoot the TV the way I do than to capture. I think it comes across better. But in terms of modern games, when I've got the money, I would like to buy a capture device. I can't afford one anytime soon, but in the future, yes, because there are some games I'd like to do playthroughs of as well that don't get enough credit. And yeah, I think that'd be quite good. And obviously, as you say, you could. I mean, if you wanted to, guys, depends on what you like. I could do, if there's any news stories, I could do what a lot of people do on YouTube and try and give my own spin on it, where I just have gameplay in the background captured while I'm just talking about events, give my opinions if you want me to do that. Yeah, I'm always happy to want new ideas anyway. So cheers, Luke. Thanks for the questions, mate. Next question is from Mark. Sega sent me one. Thank you, Mark. I don't know how you keep coming up with questions every week, mate. A lot of you amaze me how regularly you are with the questions. I just don't know how you think of them, especially so many as well. First question: have you ever walked into a business with no intention of buying something, but walked out with something someone has sold you on? No. Reason being, mate, because salesmen don't work on me. They really generally don't. I mean, most of the time they don't even approach me. I don't know if that's just the way I look. Maybe I look a bit rough. But generally they don't approach me. If they do approach me, I don't really take much notice. I'm not someone you can easily sell to, because I'll just take no notice of them at all. I'll be like, yeah, okay, whatever. Just give me a load of flannel, so I'm not that interested anyway. And generally, I tend to know little bits about a lot of things. So when I go into shops, I've got a kind of a good idea of what I'm looking at. And I know when someone's telling me bullshit. I mean, there's been times I've been in shops and I've been talking to customers, and you know, I don't even work there, and I'm just giving them more advice than what the actual people who work in the shop do. I think I might have said before, years ago I was in Curry's, and me and my dad were looking at TVs, and the bloke next to me started asking me questions, and I was telling him, this was like the early days, you know, a few years back now, and we was talking about like HDMI connections and DVI and HD TVs and all this, and I was giving him all the spiel, and I'm thinking, hang on, I should be getting paid for this, but but yeah, I'm like that. I can be helpful when I need to, but yeah, in general, people can't really sell to me. No, it's like when they try and give you extended warranties when you buy something. I'm always like, no, they're crap and a waste of money, so no, I don't want one. What is the biggest tip you have ever left or left for someone? I don't tip. I'll be honest. I'm British, and tipping's not something we do. I know the Americans, that's like it's expected, but over here it's not. I think if the service is good, and it's above standard, then fair enough. But to be quite honest, a lot of time it isn't. I think a lot of people they go about their business. They're just trying, like most of us, are just trying to do a job and get some money. They're not really going the extra mile. So I don't always feel that it's necessary. And then there's always the amounts. I mean, I know in America, I think there's a percentage, like a minimum percentage or something you have to give, which is added to your bill. And then you can add extra if you want to, which is probably a better way of doing it if you're going to do it at all. Although I personally disagree with it just being automatically added to your bill. That would piss me off, because if they're giving you bad service, that shouldn't be happening. But no, I've never tipped anyone. What's better, PS4 or Xbox One? Great question. Early days, hard to say at this point. All comes down to personal preference, I think. PlayStation 4 is going to be a better exclusives machine at the moment. Obviously, E3 is coming up. We'll wait and see, because Phil Spencer at Xbox is really trying to push to get exclusives and new content on the Xbox, which is really essential, because I've said many a time before, I felt that the 360 near the end was getting very stale. The exclusives were literally like Forza, Fable, Gears of War, Halo, and they stuck with it, and they just rinsed the hell out of those franchises. And so I want to see some new stuff. They've got Rare, for Christ's sake. Oh, it's not rare. It's like new people. It's not the original lineup. But nonetheless, there's going to be talent there, and they should use that talent instead of wasting it like they have done. But yeah, I think the safe bet for exclusives is going to be a PS4. So depending on the type of games you want to play as well, is which console. If you can only buy one console, it's going to come down to the type of games that you prefer. In terms of like the actual hardware, I think they're both equally matched. They're both brilliant consoles. You have all this 1080p 60 frames bullshit going on all the time. That's more the younger generation. I personally do not give a toss. I can't actually tell the difference. I will be honest, playing games that I've played recently, Tomb Raider and Watch Dogs, I've played them on PS4. Now, this is going by memory, because I don't have the ability to have both copies and set them both up with two different TVs. But for me personally, I thought they looked better on Xbox One than I did on PS4. I don't know if that's accurate, I don't really care, it's just my opinion. But yeah, obviously PS4, as far as I'm aware, those games are 1080p on PS4, and I believe, I'm not sure about Tomb Raider if it's 900p on Xbox or not, or if it's 720. I think it's 900. I'm pretty sure Watch Dogs is 720p. But quite frankly, there was not a massive difference. The only thing that I thought looked better was that the Xbox version of the game looked brighter and the colours looked better. I don't know. It might just be my eyesight, but that's what I saw. So it's only my personal opinion. So I think the hardware is pretty equally matched at the moment. Now they're freed up Kinect, they've got rid of Kinect. The Xbox has got an extra core available, so that's going to give them more power to mess with. So eventually they're just going to be on par, I think. And this whole 1080p 60 frames probably won't be as big an issue in a couple of years' time. And it will only come down to what's important, which is the games and the exclusive games for each console. Because at the end of the day, you need a reason to own the consoles, and if you don't have exclusives, there's no reason to own each console. You must just buy one generic box and play all games. So it depends on, I think it comes down to what games you prefer to play, what style of games you're into, which company will offer the best amount of games in your favourite genres. And the hardware, it comes down to what kind of dashboard and interface you prefer, and the controller as well. Now, the DualShock 4 everyone says is the best controller out of the two. And to be fair, it's a great controller. It's not without its flaws. The sticks are okay, but I don't like the top of them. They feel a little small as well. And the triggers, while they're absolutely brilliant for gaming, when you're using it as a media hub, they're absolutely terrible, because you have to keep turning the joypad off, because as soon as you put it down, it fast forwards your video or rewinds it, which is incredibly annoying. The Xbox pad, I'm actually enjoying that a lot more. It's way more comfortable than the DualShock 4 for me personally. The only downside to that is the bumper buttons, which for most of the time I thought they were okay, but lately I've been finding that they can be a bit annoying because you can't click the full button, and sometimes you automatically just go like that to click the whole thing instead of using the edge of your finger like you should do, and it feels a little bit unnatural. So I did read recently that they're bringing out a new version. I don't think it's called a Pro controller or something, but it's not that kind of thing, that an updated Xbox One controller. I don't know if it's an exclusive for a game or what it's for. I can't remember exactly what they mean. I saw something somewhere on Twitter or something. And so maybe that's what's going to happen. They're going to change the shoulder buttons and tweak a few things, but it's a pretty solid controller. But fundamentally, I would say if you're on the fence, you don't know which console to go for, and you haven't gone next gen, and you're not a fanboy of Microsoft or Sony, you're just someone in the middle who likes good games, I would say look at both consoles. find out which games are coming out on both consoles that are exclusive, because the cross-platform is kind of irrelevant, I think, these days. Unless you're absolutely anal about 60 frames and 1080. Personally, I just say I think Xbox One versions look better than the PS4. It doesn't mean they play better, it just means they look nicer to me. Because I'll be honest with you, Tomb Raider doesn't work that well on the Xbox One. It is faulty. I didn't have major issues, but there were times where the cutscenes were freezing, and at one point, if you know the game, there's one moment where you have to jump out of a burning building into a helicopter where Roth is going to save you. And as I threw Lara out of the building, went into an F&B sequence, and she froze in midair, and the whole game locked up and I had to reboot it. Now, I've played it on PS3, PS4, Xbox 360, Xbox One, all the way through, and I've never had an issue on any of the systems bar the Xbox One. So that is a bit of a problem. It's only that game though. I mean, I played Wolfenstein, I played Watch Dogs, I played Sunset Overdrive, I played Rise, no problem whatsoever. So it is just Tomb Raider. There's something gone wrong there with the programming. I don't know what happened, but there you go. They need to patch it. But it's only minor, very minor. That was the major issue they got, was that one freeze. Other than that, a couple of technical glitches in some of the cutscenes. It wasn't freezing, they were just jerky, which is a bit of a shame. But generally, yeah, I would say, basically, if you're someone on the fence, you're not a fanboy, you don't care about 1080p, 60 frames, I would say look at the games that are coming out for both consoles, exclusives, as I say, don't worry about the cross-platform, and then decide which one's best for you. And also, I'd also say go to your local game store as well and fill the controllers. And sounds a bit rude, but but yeah, get your hands on the controllers, see which one you feel is better for you, and you'll be able to see what the user interface is like as well, and the dashboards, and you know, that's what I'd say. I personally I really like both consoles. They're both great, and they both have advantages and disadvantages. Oh, that's a long-winded question to answer, isn't it? Bloody hell. Right, what's the worst thing you've done while drunk? That's a tough one, mate. Trying to remember a lot of the things when honestly, I don't know. I can't think of a genuine answer to that one. Nothing bad. I mean, usually it's just like, you know, collapsing and falling over and the usual kind of drunken things. But no, nothing I can really think of that's bad. What is the best thing you've done while being drunk? Mostly involve gigs, going to see great live bands and getting absolutely hammered, or going to clubs on a Saturday night and just dancing my arse off. And that's usually my favourite thing to do when I'm drunk. Who's better to control Shinobi or Strider? Shinobi, a lot more fluid. Strider's cool, but he kind of feels a little bit stiff compared to Shinobi. Shinobi's got a lot more movement and you can go up and down and around, and yeah, I'll go with Shinobi. Are you interested in Bloodborne? I recommend it highly. I'm not, mate, because it just doesn't appeal to me, that type of game at all. Yeah. What are your 3 best Super Nintendo PAL box art covers? Difficult because I haven't seen all that many, because I only had a handful of PAL games as a kid, so I'd have to go with some of the ones I had as a kid, which were Castlevania 4, which is fantastic artwork, beautiful. So I believe, as far as I can remember, it's the same as the American one. It's really cool. Mario Kart, because you can't beat it. The blue box in particular, really nice cover. And yeah, Super Pro Protector, because I always preferred the robots to the humans. I always thought they looked cool. Contra 3's got a better cover, but I think the Pro Protector box is cool. What are your 3 favourite Mega Drive box art covers? Well, I haven't seen a lot, but at the moment it's going to be the Japanese Sonic Spinball cover, because I love it. It's just vibrant, full of colour, it's brilliant. The Streets of Rage Bare Knuckle, the first one, I love that cover. I've got the poster up there, and it just looks epic. You got the New York skyline, you've got the 3 characters, you got all the enemies at the front doing martial arts. It's absolutely awesome. And a third one, oh, that's hard, that is. Hang on, let me see. Oh yeah, at the moment it'd be Cheeky Boys on Mega Twins, because that is amazing artwork. Yeah, I love that one. What age would you rather be again, 10, 20 or 30, and why? That's difficult. I don't want to be 30 again, because 30 is a crap from what I've experienced so far. 20 was brilliant, because it's just when you're becoming an adult and you're starting to really realise what the world's about. You're still not entirely sure, and you're still a bit quite a lot naive actually. But you know, my 20s were great because I liked getting pissed every weekend and I was partying, so they were really good times. And you know, at 20 as well, you're you're developing yourself as a human being, and you're getting all this amazing music and film and media, and you know, you find out about the world, and it's just a fascinating place. It's also a quite depressing place. Whereas at 10, it's better because you're completely oblivious to everything, and all you care about is going out on your bike, hanging out with your mates, playing video games. Yeah, I'm going to go for 10, because 10's the best age actually when I think about it, because that way nothing matters. You don't have any responsibilities. You can get up in the morning, knock on for your mates, get on your bike, go for a ride, just go on an adventure, and then come back at night, have something to eat, crash out, stick your computer on, because this, you know, when I was 10, this was the 80s. So, yeah, put the Amiga on, play some Amiga games, and then eventually fall asleep in the small hours, and then get up and do it all over again. Yeah, I want to be 10 again, definitely. Would you rather lower the drinking age or higher the driving age people can learn? That's a bastard of a question. How did you come up with that one? I would definitely not lower the drinking age, that's for sure, because we've got a serious alcohol problem in this country. There's no doubt about that. And I'm not anti-drink, I love drinking. Not as much as I used to, but yeah, drinking's good. But you have to be responsible, even though I wasn't. Higher the driving age, I don't agree with that either, because that's not fair. Because I think 17's fine, although to be fair, if I had to pick out of the two, I would say higher the driving age, just because I don't want to lower the drinking age, because we have enough problems with alcohol in this country as it is. In that situation, that's what I'd do, even though I'd rather not do either one of those. Because I think not all 17-year-olds drive like lunatics, and not all 30 plus drive sensible, because they really don't. Do you prefer a dense population or a more barren population? As I'm getting older, barren. Hence the reason I said before I'd like to live in Scotland in the middle of nowhere. Because I don't like having a lot of people around me. I don't know. Especially cities, as I said before, city life, it just doesn't do it for me. As I'm getting older, and I think maybe I'm not the only one that feels this way. When you get older, it all gets a bit much, and you just want to just chill and get away from the rat race. But yeah, so I'd probably go. Well, I mean, density's better because it's sort of a middle ground, but I'd go barren. Have you ever heard of a cronuts? A combination of a donut and a croissant? No, I haven't, but it sounds like a good idea. Does it have jam in the middle? Because that would be sweet. So I'm assuming they cross the two, and that maybe they'd have jam and sugar, which would be fantastic. Or jelly for my American friends. I still find that weird calling it jelly. Because what we have as jelly is just be disgusting on a sandwich. But anyway, have you ever been to the Tower of London? No, I haven't even been to London yet, mate. Maybe one day. Do you know in England that you can hire the Ghostbusters car for weddings? Really? Can you? With the sirens, etc. included? No, I didn't. It doesn't surprise me. You can pretty much do anything these days, but that's pretty cool. What is your favourite channel on TV? Mate, that's a tough one because I don't really watch TV because it's crap. But if I've got to pick one, at the moment, the Food Network. As bizarre as that is, I'm watching an absolute ton of diners, drive-ins and dives. I absolutely love that show. So yeah, so the Food Network's my channel of choice at the moment. And I'm also starting to get into that Save My Bakery as well. That's another one. This is what happens when you when you go into your 30s. I watched a programme on Saturday night called You're Back in the Room. Oh mate, how can you watch that on ITV? Rest assured, it's a new all-time low for British TV. I thought it would be from the trailers. Have you ever had the misfortune of watching it? No, I deliberately refused to watch it because it looked like utter bollocks from the advert. For anyone that doesn't know, You're Back in the Room is a new hypnotism game show from what I can see from the trailer. So basically they allegedly hypnotise people and then make them do things to win prizes. What a load of bollocks. One, I don't believe it for a minute. It's just totally fake. And the trailers, or the adverts, just I can't call them bloody trailers, they're not trailers. But the adverts, the way they advertised it, it was the same old thing that you expect people from like the 80s to say when they're hypnotised, and it was just so fake. And I was just like, I just cannot watch crap like that. And talking of lows on TV, the BBC, man, what has happened? Not only has their news channel gone down the pan, they've followed Sky News into the root of absolute bullshit, but now BBC One have got a reality show about a chicken shop. I mean, oh my God. We're paying our licence fee, which is an absolute extortionate amount, and we should not have to pay it for some bullshit like that. The BBC is supposed to be a decent channel. It's supposed to have good quality programming. It's supposed to be, the news is supposed to be impartial. They're just losing the plot. They're just joining everybody else, and I don't want them to because it's crap. And we should all revolt against the TV license for that reason. You know, we should not be paying as much as we are. We should not be paying it at all. The TV license has to go. It's a complete abomination and a total and utter joke. There's no reason to have a TV license at all. If you don't like it, BBC, get adverts on your channel, because no one watches it anyway. So on the occasion when we do watch your TV channel, it ain't going to bloody matter about adverts. Part of political broadcasting again. There you go. Okay, and that's weird that went off in a rant there. What is your favourite quiz programme of the 80s and 90s and present? Present would be The Chase. I love The Chase. And I didn't like 1,000 Heartbeats when it first started. I thought that was crap with Vernon Cave, but it's really grown on me. I still don't like the orchestra. I think it's stupid, but it's definitely grown on me. And I'm kind of liking Tipping Point and all with Ben What's His Face. That's pretty decent. Ben Shepherd, that's it. Yeah, that's quite a cool idea. But The Chase is head and shoulders above all quiz shows at the moment. Best one out there. It's brilliant. 80s and 90s. Oh God, I used to like Family Fortunes back in the day. I don't really like it nowadays. It's all right with Vernon Cave. It's not as good as it used to be. And there was what's the one with Leslie Craver? Price is Right. That was really cool. I love that show. So I'll probably go with those two. Oh, and Catchphrase as well. Yeah, the proper catchphrase, the old school catchphrase, not the new one with Stephen Morgan. That's crap. The old school catchphrase with the proper graphics, not these weird graphics they got now. All right, cheers, Mark. Great set of questions, mate. Oh, hang on, we've got one more question. Bonus question. Do the alphabet song and Twinkle Twinkle Little Star have the same tune? Yeah, they do, don't they? I just listened to them in my head. You're right, I've never even noticed that before. Yeah, thanks. I don't know, you come up with this stuff. Okay, next set of questions from Scribble Sam. Thank you, Sam. First question. If you could be any Power Ranger villain, who would it be and why? This is a problem because I like Power Rangers, but I'm not a hardcore fan, so I don't know all the characters, so I honestly couldn't tell you, mate, to be honest with you. I'm not just going to bullshit you and come up with some answers because I'd look stupid. I really don't know. If you were given a task to destroy the Power Rangers, how would you do it? I'd get Superman. That would be the one. Do a crossover universe, and I'd call on Superman, and he could take him out quite easily. If you were given an opportunity to recruit 5 people to become Power Rangers, who would they be? They may be real people or celebrities. I like the fact that celebrities aren't real people. 5 people. Taylor Swift. She could be the Pink Ranger. Cuba Gooding Jr. Because I really like him and his acting's starting to come back on now. He's getting his career back on track. So we'll have 3 blokes and 2 women, I think. Oh, who else? So we've got Taylor Swift, Cuba Gooding Jr. This is bizarre. Oh, what's his name? Oh, God. The geezer out of 21 Jump Street. I nearly had it then. Not the little fat one, the other one. Oh, shit, what's his bleeding name? Channing Tatum, that was the one. So Channing Tatum, Cuba Gooding Jr., Taylor Swift. This is weird. Edward Norton, just to give it some acting chops, because I love Edward Norton, he's amazing. And Katie Sackhoff, because she did such a good job in that little short, so yeah, I'll go with those. It's the most bizarre Ranger setup ever, but you know. Have you ever watched Nin Ninja or Zyu Ranger? Or Juju Ranger? Okay, is that 2 things, or any other Japanese Sentai series? I haven't, mate. I honestly have no idea. Do you remember Cybernet? It was another TV show similar to Games Master and Fun Bandits. No, I haven't. I've never heard of that one, to be honest with you. I'll look it up on YouTube, see if it's available, because I'm always up for new shows. Because I finished watching Bad Influence ages ago, and I've watched all the other stuff. So yeah, that'd be really cool. Do you have a PS Vita, and does anybody remember this console, or has it faded away into obscurity? It does feel that way, doesn't it? I don't have one because there aren't any games that appeal to me other than Uncharted, Golden Abyss. I would love to have one because they look amazing and I love the technology. The only problem now is that the new version hasn't got the OLED screen, and you know, depends if you're bothered by that. I personally am, because I don't like the new screen. So you've got to try and track one down on eBay and not pay over the odds for it. But yeah, I would like to get one in the future. I just hope they bring more games to it. I mean, as far as I'm aware, I mean, Colin Moriarty on Kind of Funny Games absolutely raves about the Vita and how amazing it is, how many great games are coming out. But usually the games he talks about are games that I'm not interested in. So I find it difficult to find anything worthwhile playing on the console, the handheld, which is a shame because the Vita is cool. I mean, it's a really nice bit of kit and I would love to try it. It's the only handheld I haven't tried yet. So yeah, that would be good. But yeah, maybe one day, if Sony get their act together and bring out a lot more decent games. Do you like Oasis? If so, what are some of your favourite songs? Yeah, I do. I was never a massive fan, but I like some of their music. All the basic stuff like Morning Glory and yeah, I'm useless with song names, by the way. I've said this before. I can never remember names of songs. Morning Glory was one, and all the ones that they released basically in the charts that were really good. All the songs I've definitely made were fantastic. So yeah, I'm not a huge fan. My friend was really big into the indie scene, so I used to listen to a lot of it because of him. Okay, and do you remember the kids show Nightmare? If so, what are your opinions on the show? Yeah, I do, and I loved it. It was brilliant. I watched it a while ago, about a year or two ago, when Alan, Irish Nerd Life, was talking about it, and I went and watched a couple of episodes on YouTube, and it's brilliant. Even though I have said before that I think that you needed like a university education to understand what the hell they were talking about a lot of the time. But yeah, Nightmare is a really cool show, and I don't understand why they haven't brought it back. I know they did a one-off once, but they should do a full new show now, just recommission it. It'd be brilliant. Do you remember Funhouse with Pat Sharp and his awesome mullet? Oh yes, that was a great show. If so, pretty much the same question as Nightmare question. What are your opinions? From what I can remember, it was really, really fun. Hence the reason it's called Funhouse, yeah. And Pat Sharp's mullet was legendary. That was a really great show. It's like, there was like a blonde girl on there as well. It wasn't Michaela Strachan, was it? I think it was, no, it's got to be somebody else, I can't remember. But yeah, Funhouse was brilliant. I mean, that's the kind of thing that's missing with today's kids TV. A lot of it's crap. You know, the cartoons are crap, the shows are crap. It ain't like what you had when we were kids. We had all the good stuff. We were very lucky. And as a kid, have you always wanted to be on a TV show like Funhouse and Nightmare? I would like to be on Nightmare. Funhouse would be brilliant because as a kid, it'd be amazing, wouldn't it? Really? Nightmare would be really cool, but I'd have to be the one that's walking around the mazes. I couldn't be the one answering the questions because as a kid and even as an adult, I would not be able to answer those riddles. That's some really cool questions. Thank you, Sam. Next question from Cyanide Shock, a bit more serious. Do you believe that UKIP are a racist party? I like to think people are not entirely listening to Farage and the common sense points he makes. The most important thing... okay, there's another question. Right, yeah, so I'll be honest with you, I haven't gone in depth and read their manifesto if they have one and all this kind of thing, so I don't know everything about the party. But I would say that from the outside, from what I've seen, I wouldn't say the party is racist, absolutely not. I would say that there are racist individuals in the party which have been exposed, and Nigel has dealt with them the right way, because as soon as they're exposed, they have to go. You can't leave them in the party, obviously. And I think the only reason it's getting so much public and press attention is because of the fact that the media want to get rid of UKIP and Nigel Farage, and the government isn't happy that they're rising as big as they are and they're getting the vote. And all of this, to be quite honest, looking at the polls a couple of days ago, hasn't really changed the damn thing. They're still in third place. I think they had 14% on the poll, which was mind-blowing. They were above, quite a way in front of the Liberal Democrats. And obviously the Liberal Democrats, the people who vote for them generally, are probably disillusioned by the fact that they haven't given them what they expected being in the coalition and all that. So yeah, I think Nigel's doing the right thing. When these people are exposed by the media or whoever, and they are exposed as racist, they have to go. They just get them out of the party because we don't need that in politics at all. At the end of the day, politicians are human, not the rest of us. You are going to get that in every single political party. You are going to find people with extreme views. It's just the nature of the beast, unfortunately. It's how you deal with that problem at the time. As soon as they are outed, you have to say, right, that's it. You're out of the party, go. No messing, no bullshit. They have to be done with. So I don't believe that UKIP are a racist party. I just believe that they have a few fringe people in their party. I'm sure if you analyse Liberal Democrats, Conservatives, Labour, Green Party, Plaid Cymru, SNP, all of the parties, you could find some people in those parties with extreme views. Not necessarily racist, they could be xenophobic, they could be completely right-wing, they could be anything. But you know, you're always going to find people like that because we're all human and we all have our own opinions, whether they're right or wrong. Next question. The most important thing that you want to do this summer? Get a job, get some money, and have fun. Simple. Can you remember the worst nightmare that you ever had? any type of dream which was vivid and seemed completely strange. The only one that really springs to mind was one I had years ago. It's a recurring weird one where I was on a street and there was a load of gangbangers chasing me down, and I was in a massive gunfight, and it used to scare the shit out of me. And I don't know why that I used to keep having that dream, but it kept coming back. And it'd be one of them that just shocks you right out of sleep, and you just wake up, you're like that, and you're looking around, you're like, Jesus Christ. And it feels so real that when you wake up, you're not quite sure if you are awake. It's a horrible dream. I haven't had it for years, thank God, but it was not a good one. Okay, thank you very much. Next set of questions from LFC Gamer, who asks, if you're a contestant on MasterChef, oh my God, what starter, main and dessert would suit you? That is an impossible question, because quite frankly, I've watched MasterChef recently, and John Turturro and the little bald fella, how can I forget his name? Oh my God, Greg Wallace, that's it. Yeah, not so much Greg, but John Turturro and the people they have on as guests, like chefs and whatever, are quite poncy, and they expect ridiculous high-end stuff. It's food, for Christ's sake. They take it way too seriously sometimes. But starter, oh my God, starter, main and pudding, that's tough. I don't know enough about food, if I'm honest. Starter, I'd do a spin on the prawn cocktail because I love that, it's delicious. The main, probably beef Wellington. Yeah, maybe beef Wellington and orange sauce. Some nice green veg on the side. Some nice roast potatoes seasoned within an inch of the life. And pudding would be something chocolate. It would have to be a big slab of just delicious chocolate cake with melted chocolate in the middle that just drips down the cake with some cream over the top of it. That would be amazing. I'm quite impressed with myself that I even come up with that. Are you a fan of any platform games that are also, I can't say that word, strategic? For example, The Lost Vikings and Rolo to the Rescue on the Mega Drive, which are awesome games. So the only thing that comes to mind is like Pushover on the Amiga, which is sort of a puzzle game more than strategic, but it has got sort of platform elements to it, I suppose. Yeah, I like that. I thought Lost Vikings was all right. The problem I have is I'm pretty crap at working out puzzles. So if it's a straight platform game, I'm fine. But if you start throwing puzzles at me, I just get confused. But yeah, I wouldn't say I don't like them. I'm just not very good at them. So yeah, I'll give them a try. If you play FIFA with friends, which team country is your preferred choice, or do you just pick a random one? Normally, if I'm picking countries, I always pick England because you have to. Other than that, it would be like Manchester United or Liverpool, just the really obvious ones. Or sometimes I'll just go with something completely random. I don't even know if you can get Dundee United on there, but I'd go for something like that. Just completely off the wall. Have you ever accidentally moved your Super Nintendo when switched and it erased your save data? I did it once and it erased my 100% save of Donkey Kong Country. I didn't know you could do that, mate. That's a worrying thought. No, I always turn mine off. I never leave it switched on and move it around. So yeah, I didn't. I'd be really pissed off if that happened, to be honest with you. Would you like to learn and speak Dutch? I have tried in the past. I watched a few videos on YouTube, which is not really learning, I know, but there was a girl on there teaching Dutch, and it's quite cool actually. Interesting language, a difficult language, but yeah. I mean, I'd love to be able to just really have the motivation to learn languages. Do you like the song Renegade Master? I think it was by Fatboy Slim. Yeah, great song, classic. Shock 16 milks that one. It's a great tune. Did you used to watch shows like The Professionals, Minder and The Sweeney? I've seen little bits of The Professionals and The Sweeney. I don't really watch them, but I used to watch Minder religiously when Arthur Daly's name's escaping me. But yeah, the original lineup and Dennis Waterman, that was really cool. Even when Dennis Waterman left and that kid came in and was he Arthur's nephew, I think he was quite good as well. Yeah, I really liked it. I thought Minder was a great show. I think Minder could be redone actually. They could revamp that for the modern day. I think it'd be quite good. In fact, to be fair, The Professionals and The Sweeney would be really good. The Sweeney movie that came out of Ray Winston, I really enjoyed that. It was a really good film. And did you own Shadow of the Beast for the Amiga? Yeah, I own Shadow of the Beast and Shadow of the Beast 2. Always preferred Shadow of the Beast number 2. I didn't like the character number 2 and the Neanderthal looking dude. I thought the goat looking guy number 1 was much better. And the music on that game is epic. I don't think I ever got particularly far in the game though, because I was pretty crap at it, but I really like that game. Graphically, musically, stunning. So thank you for the questions. And next set of questions come from Mus247 and 365. Thank you, Molly. First question is, do you find yourself singing or humming video game tunes? If so, which ones? Generally, if I am, it's Mario World, because there's so many great tracks, or the Street Fighter 2 soundtrack, because they're just so memorable and so brilliant. Castlevania 4 and all, man, I love that soundtrack. They are seriously quality. Are you thinking of picking up another Amiga? I'll plead the fifth on that one, or no comment as we say in the UK. Have you ever experienced a prolonged power blackout? We had a 90-minute one here this week. It's weird when nothing works. Yeah, I don't get prolonged one. When I first moved down here, we used to get them pretty regular. We haven't had one. I think I had one a couple of months ago. It was a short one, but it's been a long time since we had a regular outage. So I don't know. They must have fixed the electrics, thank God. But yeah, generally they're only about 5-10 minute max. But even that's enough, especially when you're watching a film or something, or playing a game, and suddenly everything just kicks off, and you're like, oh shit. And then you worry about your machines if they've been blown or anything, because, you know. But yeah, it's not a good situation, especially when you're just sitting in the dark and you haven't got a torch. That's not good. I'm using my phone like that, putting the light on. Any thoughts on the news of a tribute TV show for Back to the Future, hosted by Keith Lemon? He says, feel free to swear, I love it. I had no idea that was coming, mate. I'll be honest with you, the bloke who plays Keith Lemon, I used to love him. I thought he was brilliant. I hate that character. I never liked it when he first invented it. I can't remember the name of the show he did it on. I'm not sure if it's the one with the bear. It might have been the one with the bear, because he had multiple characters, and Keith Lemon was one of them. And I never understood how the Keith Lemon character became so big, because it's crap. I find it really irritating. I much preferred when he used to do his Craig David and Michael Jackson impressions. That was in his Mel B. That was pure genius, absolute genius. So funny. Yeah, I don't even see the point in that yet. I mean, good, pounds to the bloke for getting work, but no, that should be done. Would you say that you're a creature of habit? Definitely. I think you can all see that from my collecting habits. Flapjacks or chocolate brownies? Chocolate brownies always. Are you looking forward to watching the new X-Files episodes? Did you watch the show back in the day? I did watch it back in the day, and it's good that you said that, because I read the news report last night that the Coveney has confirmed that Mitch Pileggi, and I can't remember his name, but the guy who played the Smoking Man, are both signed on as well. So we've now got the Coveney, the Smoking Man, Mitch Pileggi as Skinner, and Gillian Anderson. They're all coming back, which is absolutely brilliant. I love X-Files. I love the films. I thought the TV show was fantastic. They've got 13 episodes coming up, so hopefully, if we're lucky, the show will do really well, and they'll keep doing a couple of seasons. I don't think they'll do a lot, but even one season is enough really just to make us happy, but a couple would be great. Gillian Anderson has obviously been quite successful with The Fall at the moment, which is a brilliant show. If no one's seen The Fall, one of the best shows we've had on British TV in a hell of a long time, so highly recommend that. I'll promote that because we don't get enough good telly. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to X-Files. I think it's going to be brilliant. They're starting shooting in the summer as far as I'm aware, so hopefully either the end of this year or beginning of next year we'll be getting that. Cannot wait. And finally, Wilma Flintstone or Betty Rubble? Betty Rubble, mate. Easy. Always. Betty Rubble is hot. Right. So, next set of questions. And the last questions for the day come from Keith Hewitt. So, get strapped in for a lot of questions. So, thank you, Keith. As always, Keith's gone crazy and come up with the most amazing questions. So, you go to bed, wake up, and the year is 2030. What kind of Nintendo console will be in your home? So, we're talking 15 years' time. At the moment, I honestly don't even know if a Nintendo console will exist in 2030. The way they're going, I mean, the NX, we don't know what it is yet, but watching that Nintendo Direct last night, they're starting to make movements, and they're starting to understand DLC and things, which is probably not the best thing in the world. I would probably say there may not even be Nintendo, Sony and Microsoft in 2030. There may just be a box and it just connects to the internet. Whichever company makes it, could be Apple, could be anybody. And you just download or stream your games, which is going to be shite. Have you ever eaten something blindfolded? Not that I can remember, no. What time does Santa go to bed? Well, he sleeps for most of the time through the whole of the year, because he only comes out one night a year, so he's got an easy job. So I'm sure you think he's a bit of a night owl. What name would you choose for a pet cat? Tiddles. I don't know. I'm going to Birmingham soon to Withall. What do you think of that? I don't even know where that is. Is that Black Country area? I have no idea, mate, to be honest with you. Have you ever been tempted to ditch your entire collection and take a break from consoles? Yeah, absolutely. I've said was it last week, I think, that I have had times where I've just felt like just resetting the whole thing and just either not collecting anymore or just dumping it all and starting from scratch and having a good think about what I want to do and restarting. Zelda Wii U is delayed supposedly. Do you think Nintendo are correct to do this? Yes, I had a feeling they were going to push it back anyway. Now the question is, are they going to push it back and bring it to the Wii U, or are they going to push it back and bring it to the NX? I would still bet they're going to bring the NX out in 2017, so I would assume that it's just been delayed just because they need to tweak it a little bit and do a bit more work on it, which is always a good thing, and it will come out on Wii U 2016. You're decorating the part of paint is teetering above a sealed Super Nintendo PAL or a sealed Game Boy Advance SP. Which do you push it towards? The PAL SNES, because I don't care. So yeah, the Game Boy Advance is more important. Have you considered becoming a driving instructor? No, I haven't got the patience. Simple as that. And I know you're not into cars, but what would be your dream normal car? i.e. nothing crazy like Ferrari or something. Something Ford, probably a Focus or a Fiesta at the moment. Pretty safe, beautiful, reliable cars. Would you? Who would be a better actor, yourself or Paul Gascoigne? Myself, of course. Have you ever heard of my retro game box? I haven't, but I'm pretty sure that Gashead's put a video up about that today. I'm sure that's what I saw earlier. So I'll watch that and find out. I'm assuming it's like all those other boxes that are going around that people keep buying. So it should be quite good. Have you ever been so bored at work that you've fallen asleep? Of course not, Keith. No. Come close. There's been plenty of times where I've sat in the office in the afternoon and the heating's on full belt. Like in the job I used to do years ago, they used to have the heating on all the time and it was ridiculously hot, and they wouldn't let you open the windows because of the air conditioning, which I always found ridiculous. Apparently messing with the air conditioning or something. Pretty bullshit. But yeah, they used to whack the heating on full belt, and in the afternoon, I would literally I'd be like that, I'd be like trying to keep my eyes open and not fall asleep. It was really difficult. There was a girl who started there once, which was really funny. She literally fell asleep on the desk, flat out, just lying on the desk. She did get sacked. Does your CV mention your YouTube channel or retro gaming hobby? Yeah, it does. I've got it in my interest at the bottom. So just a brief explanation that I make YouTube videos. I just thought, why not? You know, I don't think anyone will care about it, but you know. What do you think of Zelda Wii U being delayed? Well, as I say, I believe it's probably just been pushed back just to tweak it and add a bit extra, so it'll come out next year. All the Nintendo consoles have a shortened name like SNES, N64, GCN, etc. Do the Wii and Wii U have one? Their names are already short. No, they don't. The Wii U is still a stupid name. Ever consider starting a collection of 1950s railroad signage? That's the most bizarre question you've come up with yet, Keith. No, I can't say I ever have. What is your professional opinion on the Great Barrier Reef? I don't have a professional opinion. I don't really know anything about the Great Barrier Reef. Oh my God. Who would you prefer to spend a year with on a well-stocked, i.e. plenty of food and entertainment, desert island? Paul Gascoigne, Pingo, or Stevie Wonder? Stevie Wonder, because he can entertain you, obviously. Which phrases or catchphrases sums you up the best? I reckon never say never. Cheeky sod, thanks. You're probably right, to be honest. Yeah. And it gets on my tits. That's another one. If you could pick one game, past or present, that most mirrors your personality, what would it be? I'm not asking for your favourite game choice. Past or present game that mirrors my personality. The Last of Us. Yeah, quite dark and moody. Yeah, I'd go with that one. Tony Blair as friends, okay, or a lifetime supply of free window cleaning and a tiger as a pet. Tony Blair, because we could have some fascinating conversations about how he screwed his country over. You're decorating, the pot of paint is teetering above a huge wildebeest intent on world domination, or a poor, defenceless, ant about to go home. Which do you push it towards? It's got to be the wildebeest. You can't soak the ant. You wouldn't be able to see the ant. I would love there to be a GTA and Mario hybrid, as would I. That would be really cool. Where Mario is a disgruntled plumber working in New York and a criminal drug gang abduct Peach for trafficking. Drug gang being run by Bowser, of course, who's a pimp. Mario's mission is to rescue Peach by doing crimes and stealing cars to sell, etc. Game would look and play like GTA 5. I would love that game. Nintendo would never allow it. They do a shiny version, but yeah, a proper gritty version where Mario's got his dungarees covered in oil. He's got one strap hanging down, got a fag hanging out his mouth, and he's got like oil on his face, and he looks proper beaten down and grimy. Yeah, that'd be really cool. I'd love that. I'd say Bowser the pimp, head of the drug gang, steals Peach, kidnaps her, and you've got to save her. That'd be fantastic. And you could do it like GTA 4, you know, where Roman keeps calling Nico, "Hey, cousin," you know. You could have that with Luigi instead. That'd be brilliant. Oh, I really like that idea. That's great. Ever played Stunt Race FX for SNES? I haven't, mate. I've never played it. I've seen it. I know what it is, but no, I've never got into playing that one. If someone said you have to spend a year playing any Mario series, which would you pick? I.e. New Super Mario Bros., the main platform series, Kart, Strikers Party, Golf, Dr. Mario, Luigi, etc. I would limit it to the original 2D platform series, so 1, 2, 3, Lost Levels, Mario World, and Yoshi's Island. I'm going to be sneaky and include that because technically the box does say Super Mario World, so it really isn't, but you know, so that one's going to be squeezed. So 6 games. Is that right? I think 1, 2, 3, Lost Levels, Mario World. No, 5, yeah, you twat. Mario and Yoshi's Islands. So yeah, them, because they're the best. We make that the best 2D Mario games out there. I'm not a fan of the new Super Mario Bros. They're good games, but they're nowhere near on that level. What do you think about the way an antelope is hunted by predators? They all seem to be eaten in these nature programs. They need to be faster. That's the answer. What is your favourite Q&A? There was one at the end of last year that seemed very philosophical, and that one sticks out to me. You have to tell me which one that is, because I honestly don't know. There's been a few, but I've had some interesting questions so far, and it's definitely given me food for thought, especially you, Keith. You're very good at doing that, mate. I don't know how I answer some of these questions, to be honest with you. With the delay of Zelda U, what 3D Zelda game is worth me playing through? I've got Zelda Twilight Princess for Wii, but never fond of it for some reason. Mate, you're asking the wrong person. You know I don't play Zelda. I haven't a clue. I would go with the obvious answers because I know they're good, which would be like Link to the Past, Ocarina of Time. I would say Majora's Mask, but it kind of splits opinion, maybe. Same as Wind Waker. I personally, if I was going to play one, I'd play Wind Waker because it looks absolutely beautiful. But yeah, Link to the Past and Ocarina of Time, from what I understand, are 2 of the best, so I'd go with those. Have you ever been tempted to buy a pet recently? I have actually thought about buying a dog at some point, but it's too much responsibility and it's a lot of money with vet fees and things, and I just can't be asked. So, it would be nice to walk it there. What influences your milk buying habit the most? What's with the milk questions? Price, familiarity, etc. Price mostly. I always buy long life semi-skimmed anyway, so it's the price, because Tesco's price went through the roof and they were taking the piss. Morrison's milk is disgusting, so Aldi is the best tasting and the cheapest. Have you seen my blog? Not yet, but thank you for the link. Ever had a premonition? Yeah, all the time. I've always had moments in my life where something's happened and I've had a thought previously, or I've had a premonition that it's going to happen, which is kind of weird. You know, some might call it a bit deja vu as well. Yeah, I don't know why, but it does happen. I can't think of any examples, unfortunately, offhand, but I know there have been times when that's happened. You go to sleep, wake up, and the year is 2030 again. What is in your retro collection? Anything from this gen or next gen? I reckon you'll definitely buy a Wii U by then. I would say Super Nintendo Mega Drive, definitely. PlayStation 1, definitely. Original Xbox, definitely. There are a couple of others which I would definitely say are going to be there. Can't talk about them yet because there was going to be a video this week which I mentioned last week. Unfortunately, I'm still waiting for one extra thing just to put in that video, then I'll make that video. Hopefully, I'm fingers crossed I'm going to be able to make that video and put it out next week. All will be explained. Although some people may have already worked out what it's going to be about. So those would be there. Coming, I would like to think that the PS4 and the Xbox One will still be there. The Wii U, I can't see it, mate, to be honest with you. If anything, then if it goes well and the Nintendo NX is backwards compatible, that will be there. And then I'll be able to play Wii U games. So I will have Wii U games, but I won't have a Wii U console. There is a Nintendo Direct on the 1st of April, which was last night. And by the time this video goes out, it will have been released. What did you think of it? Thank you, Keith. I'm glad someone asked me about that. Yeah, I thought it was good. A lot of stuff that didn't really appeal to me personally, a lot of RPG games. Obviously, I'm not going to be interested in those. Fatal Frame, Project Zero, really cool. I've never played any of those games, but I know a lot of people have wanted those for a long time for a new one, and to get released in the West. And I've got to be honest, I was blown away. I actually tweeted last night, I can't believe that's running on a Wii U. The graphics were absolutely stunning. It looked gorgeous. So that's going to be really cool. But for me personally, it was all about Amiibo last night. I was blown away. Man, they are bastards with those Amiibos. I mean, last night, it was Bowser Jr., I think that's right, the one where he's in the little tub thing that's in Mario World, which I love. Dr. Mario looks amazing, and Zero Suit Samus was just unbelievable. And then they come out and say, oh, in Yoshi's Woolly World, yeah, we got a load of woolly yarn-based Amiibos that we're going to be bringing out Yoshi. I was like, oh, shit. So I'm going to get those. And then they announced Splatoon has got a load of Amiibos. There's 3 Amiibos for that. And from watching, I didn't really notice last night, but apparently I was watching Johnny this morning, Johnny Millennium, Happy Console Gamer, and they're going to have a free pack with all 3 Amiibo Splatoon characters. And I think they're called Inklings. And you can also buy them individually as well. So they're aiming at the collector market clearly, because obviously as collectors, you're going to want to buy all 3 individual ones as well as the triple pack, because you just have to, don't you? So yeah, I want to get all the Splatoon characters. I want to get the Yoshi Woolly World ones because they're amazing. I want to get the Dr. Mario, the Bowser Jr., and definitely the Zero Suit Samus, which looks awesome. Then the other thing that I thought was a really clever, cool move was the cards, which I thought were AR cards, and they went, no, they're Amiibo cards. And the little device which you connect to your DS, and you can put the card on it. Very clever. Beautiful looking cards. They're all numbered, and also it's the proper, playing card situation, baseball card trading. Smart bastards at Nintendo. You've got to give them credit there. So that's going to kill parents because it's going to wreck their bank balance. But yeah, fantastic idea. Overall, I thought it was a really solid one. I didn't think it was mind-blowing enough, and the ending was kind of a disappointment because, like Johnny said, you always go into Nintendo Directs expecting something amazing, or at least hoping that they're going to come out with something absolutely mind-blowing. And you know in the back of your head that you're probably not going to get that, but you always really want it, and that's the way I always feel when I watch these. And at the end, when Iwata said, oh, we've got one last new thing to tell you, and it was just DLC for bleeding Mario Kart 8, and the fact that they're putting it up to 200cc, I was like, I was hoping it would have been absolutely amazing if they'd gone. And one more thing, the Nintendo NX, and they showed you the box, or just the controller, just a teaser. That would have been bloody mind-blowing, but it's in Nintendo and you can't expect that. Maybe at E3, we'll see. But yeah, I thought pretty solid performance. There's some really interesting stuff that they showed. There was the game, was it Box Boy, I think it was called, on the DS, an indie game that actually impressed me, I can't believe it, which was really cool. And Gunvolt looked amazing from the guy that made Mega Man. Oh man, that game looked good. So yeah, really tempted to get a DS that did. But yeah, good solid direct, I'm impressed. Is it me or is Iwata losing a lot of weight and all? He looks really skinny. I don't know what's going on there. I don't know if he's done like a macrobiotic diet or he's just, got a lot of stress on his shoulders, but it's all them shareholders going, sort it out. Right. Have you ever considered becoming a bullfighter? Can't say I have, Keith, no. Ever had a pet gerbil? No, I haven't. There's a town near me called Romsey, and whenever I go to the charity shop, I always come across a retro find. Last time I went, I got a GameCube and games, and before that, I got some Mega Drive games. Anywhere near you, very good, very prone to good retro finds. Unfortunately, not, mate. You might get the odd PlayStation 2 game, and I mean like 1 or 2. They don't really have a lot. It's more for vinyl records that I go into charity shops on the odd occasion because you can get some good deals. But yeah, generally it's the car boot for retro, and that's gone downhill. There's not a lot there. There's only the traders that do true retro. Most of the people on the field, just the same old sports titles for PlayStation and Xbox. It's depressing, really. Yeah, and obviously you get traders and they're charging over the odds because they think it's worth a lot of money, and they're going by eBay. Very annoying. Thanks for answering my questions. No worries, as always. I've just lost it. Always very entertaining, and I look forward to these videos. Ever been tempted to sell Snes-tastic t-shirts? I know you were thinking about it later. Well, not really. I mean, if people wanted them, then yeah, obviously that'd be something I could look into. But I don't know if there's enough people that'd be interested in them. Obviously, Ninja Bear Hug made me one recently, which was awesome. And I love that t-shirt. So if you're watching, Stu, thank you very much, mate. Again, top notch. That was really impressed. But yeah, who knows? I mean, we're British, and merchandising isn't really something we do. But I'm always open to it. You know, I'll try anything once. Maybe shouldn't have said that. my first Ming memories were playing Ming, like Ming the Merciless. Okay, we're playing my original Game Boy Mario Land. Oh, was that like short for gaming memories? That maybe that's what he's trying to get at. What the hell are you going about Ming the Merciless for? Why? And also, I had a Mega Drive for Xmas and played Sonic 1 and Mega Games Collection cartridge. I find it really hard to remember which I got first, but I think it was the Game Boy. I wish I could remember which I played first, just because it drives me crazy thinking about what games were the first that I played. I at least can remember them all, I suppose. However, as I've told you before, I always wanted a Super Nintendo and never had one until about 2009. My half-brother and cousin had a Super Nintendo and I loved it. In fact, I own my brother's old SNES and that he had left in the lot for 10 to 15 years or so. What do you think? Yeah, well mate, at the end of the day, you got there in the end. That's what's important. You know, I never had a Mega Drive back then. I had it briefly when I did a swap with a kid at school, and then I soon realised I made a mistake and got back on the SNES. So I never really had a proper exposure to the Mega Drive, and then went out the way to actually buy one or get my parents to buy one. So only as an adult now, I'm really starting to like the Mega Drive and get into that system. So it's never too late. I think at the end of the day, if you can afford to, and you've never had a system, you should buy it and try it. That's the best advice. And what is the best looking console unit? I think the GameCube, Super Nintendo, and the Mega Drive, and the PlayStation 1. Yeah, the Mega Drive has aged really well. It still looks like a really cool piece of hi-fi equipment. I love it. The Super Nintendo PAL and Japanese Super Famicom is a beautiful classic design, and by far the best Nintendo design as far as I'm concerned. I love that console. The PlayStation 1, I still love the simplicity of the design. I love the big power buttons and the eject buttons. I love the lid. I love the PlayStation logo. Yeah, it's awesome. So I couldn't really pick one, but if I had to, I'd probably go with the Mega Drive actually, if I was going to pick one. And last question for today, guys, from Keith. What do you think of the forthcoming game, Race the Sun? It really looks like an arty reimagining of the Super Nintendo Star Fox. And he gave me a link to the trailer. And just as I was preparing the... Bloody hell, what happened there? As I was preparing the questions for this Ask Snes episode, I actually looked at the trailer, Keith. And the trailer came out yesterday. Being April 1st, I would have said it was fake. But obviously they did the Nintendo Direct and everyone thought that was going to be fake. Assuming that trailer is real, it's interesting. Because it looks to me like a tech demo for the upcoming Star Fox game. Just an example of what it's going to look, because it looks so Star Fox. You're absolutely right. I mean, it was just ridiculous. But it also looked like one of those bullshit, artsy, up your own arse indie games, which I can't stand, the pretentious bleeding games. But it definitely looked like a tech demo for Star Fox, like a teaser for what to expect. It was really weird, man. I don't know. It looked cool. I'll give it that, definitely. But I'll be interested to know if it's real or if it's fake. And if they're just messing with us, I don't know. If it's real, then great. I mean, it looks really cool, but it was a bit too pretentious for me. But nonetheless, very cool. So there you go, guys. That's all the questions this week. Thank you very much to everyone who asked me a question, as always. I really appreciate everyone asking questions. It keeps the series running, and it always makes it interesting. If you do have a question for me, as always, please leave it in the comments down below. And the cut-off for the questions is always Wednesday next week. Thank you very much for watching, guys, as always. Please remember to like, comment, share and subscribe, and I'll see you next Friday.